Hello from Central Newport News, right outside Christopher Newport University. Interestingly, Hampton Roads Transit has introduced mobile and contactless fare payment. So we're going to try it out on the 106. There should be a bus coming in like 6 minutes. The app, I've already downloaded. It admittedly very clunky. I'm not sure if you can just tap a credit card on the reader. I really don't know. But I do know that the QR code scanners on the buses work now. So the app, you load money, generates a QR code, you scan your QR code, and then it deducts whatever the fare is from the stored value on your app. So it's like a virtual wallet kind of thing. And we're at the bus stop. The 106 and 107 come here. It's a fairly bare bones bus stop. It does have a bench though. And I do have a couple $2 bills as a backup just in case this doesn't work. But supposedly this is rolled out on, I'm assuming, all modes now. And it's been in beta testing for a while. But I think just recently they went network-wide, so it should work on all their vehicles. I'm not gonna be able to film myself paying because the app is on my phone and I film with my phone. So yeah, that's not gonna work. But I'll at least show a picture of the reader probably. It just has a QR code scanner. QR code comes up on screen and you tap it underneath. So this is generally what the app looks like. On top is a QR code. That's what you scan on the reader to, I guess, deduct your fare. There's options to add fares. You can check the trip planner map. You can even reload physical fare cards. Now, when you board the bus, there's the typical HRT fare box. This takes cash and uses paper tickets. However, this is where you insert coins and bills, and then on top is where you actually scan the paper tickets. On the right, however, there's this card reader. For the last couple months, it's, said beta testing, but finally they've, put them in service. And you can actually scan the app with the QR code scanner right underneath the fare reader. Alright, the bus is pretty crowded, but it was extremely easy to pay. I just tapped the QR code and it beeped and then took $2 off for the fare. Also, Newport News, please run more buses. Ridership on this is really good. It just needs to be more frequent. I do have the seat with the extra legroom though, so pretty convenient. Typical HRT seats, not much else to report on the bus. You know what they have there?
It's a $5 bikey bag.
Interestingly, the 107 stays in Warwick Boulevard, but the 106 diverts onto Nettles, which is just a parallel street to it, but there's not much on Warwick for this corridor, so actually Nettles has more of development on it, so probably explains why the 106 might be a little more useful for those places. The 107 just kind of runs this section as an express. It doesn't really have any stops through here. Plus, the nice thing about Nettles is you get close to the rail right away, so you might see something. So yeah, it's basically just a 2-lane road through more, suburban development. But there's at least people who live back here, senior living. There's a couple neighborhoods as well. Now we get to play the game of, are there any trains? It appears no. No trains right now, which is unfortunate because it'd be cool. More examples of the development the 106 serves that the 107 doesn't. I mean, you could walk to the 107 from here, but 106 gets right up to the front neighborhoods. We really keep just stopping and let people on, let people off. I mean, it's been great. So this is Oyster Point Road. From here we cut over back to Warwick. So we lose our unique segment of the 106. It interlines with the 107 again. And this is non-stop, so I will get off here. So the stop I got off at, as you can see right over my shoulder, actually has a shelter, which is pretty cool. But I have an errand to do up in Oyster Point, so that's why I'm here. Overall fare payment. Cool that I don't have to carry around quarters anymore. I mean, that's nice, and I can actually use a card to pay now, which is great. The downsides, the app for first time use was not very intuitive. So the wind took over here, so let me explain what I was actually going to say. Basically, you have a virtual wallet in the app, which you can refill with physical or digital credit and debit cards. From this virtual wallet, you can load virtual fare cards, which you can then use to tap onto buses, light rail, and the ferry. I asked at an in-person customer service desk, and direct tap to pay from credit and debit cards isn't yet a thing, but it will be a thing on HRT buses, ferry and light rail, hopefully in the future. From what it seems on HRT's own social media, it seems like you have to do it through the app. They always use the Go Mobile app, which honestly, easy to download, and the user interface is pretty good. It's just clunky, the process of how you have to make a virtual fare card, insert a real card, use the real card to insert money on the virtual fare card. It's a whole deal. So I'm not sure. I think in the future, if they can just do tap to pay with a regular credit or debit card on the reader, that'd be an immense improvement. And arguably the best part of this, other than the fact you don't have to carry cash to pay for the bus anymore, is that they do fare capping now. So they will cap your fare for a day at $4.50. So every time you tap the credit card or use the virtual wallet in the app with your credit or debit card, basically it will charge you $2 per ride until you get to your third ride, and then it'll charge you, I guess, 50 cents. Because that's the price of a day pass. It will not charge you more than the cost of a day pass. So now you can ride the bus. You don't have to worry about, do you want to get a day pass? Do you want a single fare, round trip? Doesn't matter. You just tap as many times as you need, and it'll automatically cap it. And even better, or maybe not even better, but depending on how much you ride the bus, it'll cap at $70 a month. So you won't have to pay more than that for a monthly pass. So again, if you don't know how much you're going to be riding the bus, this is a great option for you. And here's Warwick again. So we're back on the shared 106-107 corridor. So just to recap, I took the 106 up to Oyster Point Road, did an errand, and then it was time to go back. So I waited for a 107 back in the other direction, which of course takes Warwick Boulevard instead of Nettles. So done with what I was doing up at Oyster Point. Might as well make this video a whole round trip. So there's actually a 107 going back the other directions. So it'll be a completely different route for half the trip, which will be kind of cool. And I'm not gonna hit the fare cap because I'm only taking 2 rides. We're not taking more than 2. But if you use the same card, that's what will trigger the fare capping. If you use different cards, they don't know that it's the same person trying to, trigger the fare cap limit, which is $4.50. So if you want the fare cap, use the same card for each ride. Glad I did decide to make this round trip because this is a 3000 series bus with the fun commuter seats on the 107. Never seen this before. Usually these are reserved for the longer distance ones or the ones that cross the river, but no. They just have the reclining seats on this. And this is that long express section of the 107 I was talking about. No stops. So overall, I'm really happy that we have an app now that we can use it to pay for fares with credit and debit cards via the virtual wallet and virtual fare cards. Though I look forward in the future to using physical fare cards, which should be rolled out on a bigger scale pretty soon. With all that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.